Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining up for day 2. And today I'm using the direct camera software to record this. I found about another software that can help you to, record the screen, but that won't give out a face, so to speak. Now, the only trouble with this recording would be that people who are attending live, their voices cannot be recorded back here. Okay, I hope someday GoToWebinar uh, figures out a technique to record the webcam as well. People who were able to see me before at webcam GoToWebinar, they will not be able to see me here live, but when they go to the YouTube channel, they will be able to see me. Okay, so that's about it. So before we go into the session, let's just take a moment to close our eyes and just focus on our breath, feeling so much of gratitude and love for the grid that is anchored every single day, will be anchored every single day. For anyone who chooses to tune in, visualizing a beautiful bright pink energy in your heart center. Smiling at the heart center and allowing that love vibration to be into your heart and into your cells. Nothing but love. Allowing everything that is not love to be transformed by the frequency of love. Deep and fine breaths. And gently becoming aware of your body and opening your eyes. So I'll begin with myself first. By the way, I hope you're listening to the series as it is numbered. So if you're watching this video right now, you're supposed to go through day 1 first, and it goes on and on. So like if you want to attend day 9, you gotta attend day 8. And of course all the previous videos with that. It will help you to comprehend it much more clearly. Once you have done that, you can, let's say you have completed the 365 days of journey, you can anytime tune into any day, doesn't matter, all right? So I had a very strong physical detox day, and I'm guided to shift to plant-based milk diet for a while, and that's just for me. I'm doing a lot of exercises, guided to do a lot of exercises, do a lot of personal energy healing work, to kind of adjust with these frequencies. I received a call from one of our Oasis community members, and she said that the material that is being presented here is of very high vibration. It's for advanced people only, and the beginner will not understand. Although my intention was that, this book that will come through, especially this video series, as well as for the, the beginners, but it seems it is not. It just comes from the high frequency source. So for those of you who would like to, understand the basics, so to speak, I recommend you go to the video known as Angel 101 Basics of the same channel, Narmada Akshad, and you will find the videos there, class 1, class 2, class 3, and class 4, like that. And another thing that you may want to go with is I invite you to travel the alchemical journey, physical alchemy, emotional alchemy, mental alchemy. It helps you to understand a lot about chakras, energy centers, meridians, how they work, why they work, and how they can help you in experiencing your completeness, so to speak. So that is something like a basics. It's like a doorway. A lot of people come to us at Oasis and say, so what is your particular modality? These days I just say, love is my healing modality. But to talk about the quote-unquote structure, we have channeled, I think in the year 2013, physical alchemy, emotional body alchemy, and mental body alchemy. I invite you to take that journey. If you have taken that journey, I invite you to take the next step, the 40-day golden journey. And if you've taken that one, I invite you to take the Wealth series, the 7 steps of the wealth that we have channeled, allowed to flow through. It's literally a birthing of the genius, so to speak. So for the basics, the Angel class, the 101 at YouTube, and if you feel guided for the Triple Body Alchemy series, drop me a message if you would like to know more about it. And then you may again want to start with this journey. Okay, I received a message from a friend Rachna. She has written something. So it's a request of the attendees not to write messages, during the conversation, but until only asked. It might disturb my flow. Okay, so here we go. She writes, I received the same message from universe that it is meant for people who are at certain advanced level, and hence without consulting you, I kind of suggested a friend to find it on YouTube later. Cool. Yes, and the friend that I was talking about, she did not recommend to her friends, because she thought it's advanced material, and it is advanced material. I never thought the energy would be so high vibrating. So anyways, we will go as it is going, right? So that was for myself in terms of the personal detox. You can also hear a kind of hoarseness in the voice today. It's also a part of the detox, I believe. So you can find the chat button, everyone, and you can share. I'm waiting here, so you can just write down at the chat box as to what is your experience since yesterday. Doesn't matter you attended live or by YouTube, it's okay. So please write down your experience. I mean, how you're feeling. Is there any resistance, any change, any kind of dis-ease that you might be feeling in your system? Anything particular that you observed, or maybe there was just blankness or something like that. So please write down at the chat box, and I'll be happy to answer that. I would have loved to unmute you directly, but what will happen is, if you're unmuted, you will not be recorded here in this camera software. Okay, so I am waiting. I'll pause the recording for a while as you write down your experiences. Seems it's quite quiet there. I will also go to Facebook. If you're not finding the chat box button, you can drop me a message at Facebook. Okay, got the first message from Rachna. Let's continue the starting from Vaishali as well. Cool. And how do we go into the chat? Okay. All right. So we continue with the recording, and it seems that it might be coming up in a separate format, but I will try to join these two videos. Okay. So Rachna writes, I felt nostalgia building up entire day and little awkward feeling in my stomach or Hara chakra. Very interesting. The Hara is found somewhere in the sacral center, navel center, and nostalgic, very, very interesting. And a little awkward feeling in my stomach. So I was not the only one to go through the stomach thing, right? So the stomach is usually related to the digestion, assimilation part, so it's possible that the transmission somehow is altering your connection to assimilation, to understanding and learning. There could be many explanations. I'm just trying my best to help you on that. Okay. Vaishali writes, I'm having neck and shoulder pain suddenly the whole day. Could it be a detox? Absolutely. Wonderful. Yes, pain, dis-ease, as I said, like the hoarseness coming back in my voice today. It could be a form of strong detox. And shoulder and neck, by the way, is connected to your responsibility. So if you're feeling too much responsible, drained out, burned out, it is possible that the frequencies are gradually telling you, hey, you are not the only savior. You are not responsible for so-and-so's happiness. You are just an instrument of source to deliver that particular job, particular task, or a particular thing to the particular person. It could be on a personal level or a professional level. So ask yourself, am I feeling too much responsible? Do I always feel so much responsible for whatever happens around me, in my family? Or do I take extra burden? If yes, then how can I ease it? Perhaps I can call upon the angelic beings. Perhaps I can do more of prayers. Perhaps I can find more smarter ways rather than so-called hard ways to achieve my goal. And neck represents, being bent, feeling suppressed somehow, or now these things that I'm talking about may not be going on right now, which is a possibility, but it could be something that is of the past. Maybe as a child you felt very bent down, very suppressed. Perhaps that kind of pain is being released. Okay, I hope, Vishali, that makes a bit of sense and helps you on that. Okay, so do call upon the angels for literally everything. There are all kinds of angels. It's interesting. It seems that the angels really want to come true today. The Angel 101 Class 1 will really help you to understand about the angelic beings. All right, so Amita, okay. She writes, I felt a lot of energy, as you had mentioned, at the ponytail point. Yes, that's the Ascension Chakra, where, things start to happen and your brain starts to open up. And the Agya Chakra. Agya Chakra is present here, right here between the two eyebrows. And this is Agya. Agya means command. This is the Master Chakra, known as Master Chakra as well. So very interesting, you received activation. An expansion feeling with a sense of silence. Those that I slept very deeply last night. Oh, yes, for the sleeping part. I'm usually sleeping around 4 a.m. or something, but yes, I had quite a nice sleep as well. Richie writes, yesterday for attending live, I had a resistance today. Today, I have gone through a lot of mental clearing and sudden emotions popping up for clearing and messages about what I need to work upon to heal. Wow, wonderful. Resistance can come up very, very strongly. I know a lot of you wanted to attend the live call, especially the day one, but couldn't make it. But that's okay. We're doing the multidimensional work. We're in the technology, so if it doesn't work, that's okay. And it's good that you observe the resistance coming up and how it's there to help you heal, to build up your spiritual muscle. Amita writes, a sense of peace today. Venkatesha writes, my usual duration of sleep at night got reduced by 3 hours or so. That's crazy. Thank you. Rachna writes, a smiley. Vishali writes, yes, resonates absolutely. Thank you. Okay. All right, so thank you for the wonderful sharings, everyone. Shall we continue to day 2, Sutra number 2? All right. So the Sutra 2 says, let's do some alignment work before we actually delve into the Sutra. So closing your eyes, once again feeling the pink light in your heart region, and allowing the pink light to go especially to your stomach, helping you to absorb, understand the changes, helping you to not resist the changes, helping you to understand that change is a part of evolution, a part of you, a part of life, and it is just a change. Helping you to assimilate it, understand it, digest it, and basically receive nutrients from the digestion of these changes. A full deep breath. Visualizing a team of angels around you. We request them to release any and all fear-based cords that might be causing any kind of resistance at any level to attend this journey. So visualize these cords, threads of light, thin, thick, and see these angelic beings simply releasing them into the light. And on the place where they were attached on your body, visualize them infusing emerald green energy with their fingers. Let's keep taking deep breaths. Some of you might experience a kind of shuddering, a kind of temperature going up and down. This is the energy healing work that we're doing right now. Releasing extra responsibility. allowing that ease and grace and feeling of fun and joy to come true. Back to you. Continuing with that, the only person that you're ever responsible for is actually yourself. Of course, to a certain degree, we're responsible for our children, for people we work with in training, so to speak. But in essence, it's all about you, finding that place of absolute capital R responsibility. There's a difference between the two types of responsibility. Just keep your eyes closed and listen. The small R responsibility says, I'm responsible for everyone. If someone's face goes down in a social event, I'm responsible for them all the time, or something like that. If a person working under me or a family member who is under me in sense of authority of relationship, like the children are under the mother, father is mother and father, right? Something like that. So it's kind of taking responsibility all the time. Sometimes it might help. It might seem to help actually, but it is not. It reminds me of a wonderful new restaurant that was open near my place. They offered wonderful pizza, and it was branded was a franchise. You just keep taking deep breaths and with your eyes closed. So what happened is that it was quite nice for quite a reasonable price, and we used to go there, get the parcel done. Now by and by, what happened is, I think they shifted their chef, they shifted their cook, and what happened is the complicated making of the particular kind of pizza was compromised. So what happened is so these chefs were not able to cook to the standard of the franchisee. And we as old customers, when we went there, we recognized a drop in quality. We talked about it to the manager, and she said she's very sorry about it. And it happened kind of 3 or 4 times, and not just the pizza, but other products as well, other food items as well. And every single time she would take responsibility. She would say, "Oh no, I'm cooking it. Oh no, I will go there and I will wait on it and make sure it comes up nice." It kind of happened 95% of the time. Let's say I went there 7 times and 95% it happened. So for the first 2 times, I kind of appraised her. I said, "Wow, it's nice. You're doing a nice managerial job." At the same time, a voice kept saying within me, it said, "She's taking too much responsibility even in her personal life." Yeah, these kind of strange things do happen with me. So that's what happened. I mean, after these 7 times or so, we stopped going there, and by, we realized the place is out of business. I mean, the shop is shut down. So it might appear that the responsibility factor it might help, but actually not. So a proper manager person on a logical level would be try to understand, am I appointing the wrong kind of chefs? Am I not paying them enough? Or something like, do I actually need to work on the quality of the meals that they are preparing if I want to continue to run the business? Something like that. So the intention not to criticize that wonderful blessed being, but just to give an example of how taking responsibility all the time never helps. Okay, so do call upon the Spirit, whatever kind of divine energy that you like to work with. You call it God, Allah, Brahma, Dharmakaya, work with it. By the way, this is not part of the discourses. This is just sharing so that those of you who are attending offline can understand through it. And once again, if you do not believe in God, that's okay. I request you at least to go with this journey at least 50% and see for yourself. Okay? My intention not to prove or disapprove the existence of God or the divine energies. It's just an open arm invitation to bask in the field of sweetness and grace. Perhaps that's why in the first place you clicked on the video, to tap into grace, right? Okay, so you want to open your eyes, thanking these angelic beings who have released those chords, and especially the story which helped you to rapidly release it. Okay, Sutra 2, Day 2, Message of Gratitude from the Field of Grace. The dance of polarity tries to imitate the heart of our Creator. Sometimes we identify with one pole too much, thinking that by grasping onto one end, our minds can become the ultimate creator. Let us go again. The dance of polarity tries to imitate the heart of a creator. What is the dance of polarity? Polarity is basically positive, negative, good, bad in our lives, and then as you mature more and more, you realize, hey, there's nothing actually bad about or good about in the world. It's just the way it is. And as you grow more and more, you suddenly realize, oh, I don't need to judge people. I don't need to put them inside my definition of so-called morals or structures or ethics, just to give a fire example would be, in some cultures, having many wives is nice, you're like the alpha male of the village of the tribe. In some places it is not. In some places it is okay for women to have many husbands, actually done with so-called social approval. In some places it is not. In many places it is not, I would say. Who are we to define good or bad? Some traditions, like the color black, in some places where you go, you're not supposed to wear black. My father was really against wearing black. It was only until his passing, and actually after many, many years of his passing, I think 7 to 8 years of his passing, one day I just observed great teachers, great mentors I really adore and appreciate, observed in the photographs or in their videos wearing total black. And then I asked one of the mentors, I said, hey, why they're wearing black? Black is supposed to tone down your frequency, your vibration. And she replied that to the colors we give meaning. Black can also be defined as the womb of Divine Mother. And so the moment when I say, people have a bit of resistance with the color black, but the moment I say womb of the Divine Mother, the place of nothingness from which everything comes up, they're like, oh, wow, nice perspective. And then of course I realized that, especially in the tantric tradition, a lot misunderstood, who worship the Divine Mother, and they wear black. And of course there's another story as to how the Divine Feminine was suppressed and not recognized of its power, for the fear of its power by the quote-unquote institutions and structures. That's a totally different topic. I don't want to go there. I would have loved to go there, but I think we will not go there today. So the dance of polarity tries to imitate the heart of a creator. Sometimes we identify with one pole too much. Sometimes we identify with so-called positivity too much. And by identifying with so-called positivity too much, we are suppressing negativity too much. And what happens when you so-called do positive thinking all the time and kind of deny the pain, sorrow, and suffering? Let's say someone in your family died. I'm so sorry, I'm going to give you very extreme examples. And then you have a lot of grief, you have a lot of pain about it, and then maybe a person comes to you and say, "Oh no, you're a soul, you're a God being. You cannot have any kind of pain or suffering. You're a soul. Just affirm, I'm a soul, I'm a soul, I'm a soul," and just kick out this grief. And that's what happens with so-called extreme right-handed groups. And people try to do it. It kind of appears to help them, but it's almost like the dirt going inside the carpet. But what happens later on is a boom, the person ends up with a disease or some kind of emotional and mental disorder. So that is being too much attached to one pole of positivity. On the same line, another one would be attached to a negative pole. You can meet a lot of people who had tough lives. Not all the people who have tough lives, but let's say most of the people who have tough lives, when you talk to them, how's life? And they would say, life is a struggle. Life is a tragedy. God is against me. Marriage is a trouble. Kids are a trouble. It's very difficult to make a living. People who have a lot of money, they exploit me all the time. People who are in power, especially in political power, they exploit me like this. People who are doing business, they are making too much money. I'm struggling. So basically, you will find a theme within their communication as I am struggling, all the time, basically. I've seen people with utmost luxury, like having 3 to 4 cooks in their home, 3 to 4 drivers, the what do you call it, chauffeurs, and they're living in a nice, comfortable home. They're having nice children, nice family, nice so-called background of the family, yet they're not at peace. Are we here to judge them? No. The point where I am trying to communicate is that sometimes we identify with one pole too much. And what happens? Imagine there's a circle, okay? One circle is, let's say, dark, one circle is white, almost like the yin-yang, talisman symbol, yin-yang symbol, if you ever observed that in the Kung Fu movies. So imagine putting your finger on that dark side too much. It might appear to be going with the flow with a certain motion, but what happens? It reels back rapidly, right? And kind of violently, and with a lot of what do you call that? Vengeance, if you would say. A lot of us, when we do a lot of spiritual work, sometimes old patterns come up of jealousy, of hatred, of anger, and we are like, oh, I thought I'm over with it. I've been vegetarian for decades. I've been meditating for decades, and I don't like to see this aspect. The moment you say, I don't like to see this cleansing coming up, that's the moment you're suppressing it. But the moment you say, oh, it's there, and now to make a lot of fuss about it, you take responsibility for it, instead of blaming a particular pattern or a particular abuse, and asking the spirit why it is here. How can I accept it and transform it and transmute it? That's what alchemy is. It accepts everything, all the dross and dross. And by the power of the heat, the fire, the sacred fire, it transforms it. That is what is our intention at Oasis, is to help people understand this yin-yang principle, embrace its duality in all its beauty, and then suddenly experience a freedom from duality. Take a full deep breath. So where I was, yes, I was on the yin-yang. So imagine doing the opposite, trying to go to the white side too much. What will happen? It will come back. Sometimes people talk this principle of yin-yang as moderation as well. Sometimes they say, oh, I don't have to practice a lot of, let's say, how do I define it? I don't want to go into ethics right now. We'll cover that later. It's too early here. So sometimes we identify with one pole too much. Another last one example would be trying to find a utopia kind of society, thinking that the work that you're doing, spiritual work, it will make everyone happy and healthy. You know what? Christ came on this planet. Not everyone got enlightened. Buddha came on this planet. Not everyone got enlightened. Krishna, Mahavir, all these great beings came on this planet. Not everyone got enlightened. And many people still hate them like anything. So it is true that complete ascension of earth is not possible until every single being is freed or ascended. At the same time, we have to understand that we are not, quote unquote, capital R, responsible for other people's choices. You can pray. Maybe if it's a family member or a friend or someone you're mentoring, maybe a friendly word of advice. That's it. The moment you get stuck to the other person's so-called path, which is leading them to a grand hole, where you are all the time saying, hey, your life is going down the toilet. 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 Again and again and again. What happens? You lose your balance. And when you lose your balance, you lose your energy. When you lose your energy, you lose your vibration. When you lose your vibration, things get mucky and scary around you. Because somewhere you thought that your influence was supposed to be the quote-unquote right decision for another person. So it seems responsibility is the code, is the theme of today's sutra. Right? So when we just accept that people are going to be people, we're going to have a lot of compassion. Like I remember one scenario, I've shared this again and again. a granddaughter kicking her grandmother, you know. And the moment I saw that, I thought, how ridiculous. And but the grandmother was smiling, you know. The granddaughter must be like 2-year-old, 3-year-old. So she was smiling because she was coming from the place of understanding and compassion. I'm not saying that per se I'm a believer of give your other cheek to the other person. We'll talk about that later. But what I'm saying is, once you develop a strong understanding of the field that it is, you will stop to try to small c control and go into capital C control, allowing that I am presence to guide your every word, action, and thought. And that's what happens with most of us when we do it. We observe miracles start to happen around us. Simple as that. Okay, so we continue. Thinking that by grasping onto one end, our quote-unquote minds can become the ultimate creator. Thinking that we know everything, thinking that our way is the only way, our kind of yoga is the fastest way to achieve enlightenment, our kind of religion is the fastest way, and others are fake, or whatever. That is where our minds come in, quote-unquote, small m minds. And thinking that it might become the ultimate creator, but hey, what? You know, it doesn't help. There's a reason why the spiritual system philosophy that you have been following for years and years that you decided to leave for a while. And you will continue to be asked to do that because the way of the Tao, the way of life is very unique for all of us. You can gather precious gems and stones from every pathway, not an issue. But you have to realize that you are the ultimate diamond being. All that knowledge, all that you seek is within you. The kingdom, the heaven, whatever you like to call it. Life is right here, right now. Light is right here, right now. Take a full deep breath. And the sutra continues. Liberated are the ones, capital L, capital O1. Liberated here, what I mean is people who are, we call them ascended, who attain moksha, free from the cycle of death and birth, human birth and death, or something like that. People who are free from pain, sorrow, and suffering, basically. But you know, if you look at the lives of teachers, great teachers, they've gone through a lot of pain, sorrow, and suffering, especially in the beginning of their lives. And sometimes even in the end of their lives have been mystery. Like if you take the example of Jesus Christ, you know, it is said that he left his body on the cross, tortured. And there are many esoteric reasons as to why. Some say that he took karma of people that he was doing healing, and they have a lot of explanations. Some said that he was here to spread the message of love, etc., etc. We may not understand it through our linear minds, but it's very interesting to observe that. So liberated, capital L, liberated are the ones, those who are free from pain, sorrow, and suffering, and minded. They are not free from pain, sorrow, or suffering until they have gone through it. You cannot think that you are a spiritual person and I will experience no pain, sorrow, and suffering. Oh, I attend this weekday workshop, this forgiveness workshop, and I'm free from it. Yes, these spiritual teachings, if they are filled with a lot of light, they will guide you. They will kind of begin to free you layer by layer by layer by layer. But they will not guarantee, they cannot guarantee that you will have a cakewalk pathway. In fact, most of them will lead you into this torrents, into this ups and downs, like, you know, there's this medical device, I'm not getting the word for it right now. If you have the word, do just unmute yourself and tell me the word. So there's a particular, you know, machine that runs in the hospital. You know, it's attached to the body of the patient. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down, polarity, polarity, polarity. And then when it is blank, the person is known to be dead. So again, liberated are the ones. Mark the capital O. It's out of respect for these ones. You might have noticed great masters, great kings have always respected so-called self-realized masters and beings, regardless of their chronological age. There's a reason behind it. You know, most of the people on the planet Earth want to become kings, but If you actually tune into a king is one of the most miserable persons on this planet if they're not aligned with the I Am Presence. Someone, a flood is going on, a drought is going on, someone is saying about them this or that, someone is expecting that, a minister is making a face, a war is going on, and people think that he or she is the only person responsible for it. Small r responsible for it. So imagine if a king respects or offers respect almost a godlike, maybe, to a self-realized being, enlightened masters beings. Why? There must be something. We are programmed for evolution. We always are going to the next, from 10,000 INR monthly salary to 20,000 INR, 20,000 to 40,000, 40,000 to 80,000, 80,000 to 1 lakh, 1 lakh to 1.5. We are always evolving. Whatever kind of home we're living in, most of us want to have a different kind of home, a better kind of home with more facilities, more calm. We are programmed for evolution. It's not that you are greedy, it's just that we are programmed for evolution. The creation is programmed for evolution. So liberated are the ones. Okay, Richie writes, it's ECG monitor. Okay, thank you for that, Richie. So liberated are the ones who learn to surrender. Mark the word surrender. It's capital S surrender. It's not small s surrender. Small s surrender is like, I give up, it can't happen. But capital S surrender is, knowing that the programmings of the ego, the limited ego, through which we have been running our lives, which was basically a mechanism to protect us, is no longer working. Maybe it worked in the beginning. It was just a defense mechanism, but it's no longer working. When the beings of light, they see our actions, any action that we might have done through fear, we might categorize it as bad or even criminal types. They see that because we're coming from the ego, they see all of us as divine beings. So when we understand that, these ego-based ways are no longer going to work out, and when we surrender, capital S surrender, to our God presence, our I Am presence, that infinite intelligence, that great voice within that guides and protects us, when we surrender our lives to it, magic happens. Magic, not just these letters of the hand, but magic in the sense of capital M magic. Is it not magic that you're hearing my voice right now and my video is being recorded, right? So there's a lot to magic. We will talk about that later. So liberated are the ones who learn to surrender to the magic of the creation, and who are understanding the laws of nature, the laws of creation, and utilizing those laws, they're able to cause healing, able to cause rainfall and dry land, and so much more. Yes, these beings are really walking on the planet with us. Perhaps you are the one. And it continues, the miracle of nature. If nature is not miraculous, then what it is? How hard it keeps pumping blood. If you ever notice that water pump in your home, it has a certain warranty. It burns out after a while, but your heart, it keeps going on. Your eyes, I don't know how many pixels it is, but it's a lot of pixels, I guess. It's pretty complicated. Your brain, which is the most complicated computer, isn't the miracle. This furniture, this was created by a carpenter, perhaps by machinery. But your body, is it just a random accident of sperm and ovum? What it is? Not every sperm and ovum fertilize. The miracle of nature. Aren't you an embodiment of miracle itself? Isn't your body your life? The miracle of nature, the miracle of the presence, and so as they awake to the miracle of nature by understanding the magic of creation, they awaken to the miracle of the very presence, that they are miracle embodied, that they are magical beings, not just a philosophy, not just some hocus pocus, but they are. Okay, Sutra continues. Love devoid of emotions and sentiments, but filled with the wisdom and power of Creator. As explained yesterday, it is a capital love. Sweet emotions and feelings might be a part of this capital love, but it defines just one drop of what love is. But filled with the wisdom and power. Love is not only just love. If you're talking about the capital love, it's the wisdom and power. It's the ultimate wisdom. There's a quote that says, remember that the answer to everything is love. When we learn to apply this love, this core of alchemy, capital love, in our relationships, in our lives, miracles happen. I've observed that very, very personal experiences. It just happens. Like, let's say your body has a lot of pain. So talk to your body, just emanate a lot of love. Body, I love you, I love you. Like in case of Vaishali, she's experiencing a lot of shoulder pain and neck pain. What she can do is, before going to sleep and early in the morning, she can just project love to those parts and say, I love you, thank you so much for telling me where I was going wrong, perhaps. Thank you so much for guiding me to the flow, to grace, to ease and joy. Something like that. So this love is filled with wisdom and power. It is powerful. They say love is the utmost power. One of her mentors told that she received some emails about a husband saying that her wife was, possessed, and what he can do. And she replied that you can love her unconditionally. Love is also a form of healing. And love is also a very high vibration. These kind of negative entities cannot withstand this vibration of love. It's power, it's powerful. There are just many, many stories on the planet what great capital love can do. Not just romantic love. Romantic love can sometimes get into trouble, isn't it? But the capital love, let's say Mother Teresa, she had a lot of capital love for the masses. Look what happened. It's just amazing to see. So it is wise and it is powerful. It can cause a change, it can cause transformation, alchemy, not only within us, within our lives, within our bodies, but also in the world, human civilization, but filled with the wisdom and power of Creator. You see, the Creator has given us free will to do anything that we want to do. Sometimes people say, look at that person, he's doing so much of bad, so why not something is happening? Look at this person, he's doing so much of good. Why he or she has to suffer? We cannot understand actually the capital mind of the Creator, but all we can do is try to understand by understanding ourselves. So once we do it, it's a much more better deal, if you would say. Okay, the glue which holds everything yet moves everything. So this love, this capital love, is the glue which holds everything. It's not holding like someone who is clinging on to you, but it is holding everything. It is holding every particle, every atom of creation. It is holding everything. Imagine this, your computer is held by these particles, these quarks and quantum particles, what they're calling these days. But there's still a force, a binding force that holds it. And yet, it has to move. It is a freeing love. It is not a kind of human love, like someone, let's say, a friend who's clinging on to you and saying, oh, please be with me, I need you, quote unquote, small and need you. Sometimes parents do it as well, unconsciously, or anyone. It could be anyone. Maybe if you're a counselor, you have a good ear to hear of listening to people's problems and troubles, especially the ones whose theme is my life is a struggle all the time, and you think it's a good service, which is a good service, but all the time and often it's not. That's my opinion, personal opinion. You're free to do on your own. So it moves, it allows it to be free. They say that if you love a horse, set it free. If it loves you, it belongs to you, it comes back to you. The same say for the people. A lot of complication that has come by trying to hold people, but when we understand this capital law, it's very unique. I keep hearing stories of men who took divorce from their wives if they found their wives were so-called unfaithful. Most of the stories like that. However, on the other turn, there are a few men who understood this frequency of love, this beingness, who love their wives, who welcome their wives with open arms, with just absolute acceptance, um, even when knowing about it. It can go vice versa as well. I know men are famous for cheating, isn't it? It's like they say it's programmed in DNA. Sorry for that, but what I'm trying to reach here is it's allow. I'm not saying that if you love your partner, then allow your partner to sleep around. I'm not saying that, nor I'm saying that it is bad. Everyone unto their own. But what I'm trying to communicate here is that the law that we're talking about, it holds and yet it keeps moving. It helps it helps things to move around. Even the law of karma, the universe, everything is made of this law of frequency. Merging with this realization is capitalized, and because this realization is like, this is it. Oh, this is it. This realization that all that we are here is to live and love life. A lot of people say, oh, I'm here to eat food, I'm here to enjoy life by having lots of sex, or I'm here to enjoy life by eating a lot or drinking a lot or making a lot of money. They have their own different versions of living and loving life, but at the end they realize it's actually not going to help somehow. The ultimate purpose of living is to live and love life, and basically love life you can merge with just living. When we're truly living in the essence of who we are, like the little children, the little Buddhas, if you observe them, to just keep laughing and smiling. They're not worried about if their parents are rich or not, what kind of clothes they're wearing, how much property is in their name. It's just absolute love. We all can return to this experience of love, this experience of life, if we choose to tune into the field of grace, as simple as that. So sweet surrender coming from the place of empowerment, not from a place of giving up, but from a place of empowerment. Sweet surrender coming from the place of empowerment. For surrender of the small m mind into the capital M mind requires a dare. It requires a particular kind of dare. Not everyone chooses that, because these ego programmings have been there in our society for so long. What will people think if I do this, if I do that? Let's go back a bit. When women were not given much of the, let's say, equal rights, even equal pays, it was considered bad. But what happened? There was a revolution and women were given equal rights and equal votes, but still in many parts of the world, we can relate to this. By the way, the year that we are recording this is 2016. If by any chance you're watching this recording somewhere in 3000 or 4000 AD or something, that's a real scenario for us who are attending live. Okay, so don't think that I'm talking about some dreamland or some ancient legendary story. So when we are willing to just let go of this old programmings, these old programmings have been embedded in a system, in a DNA, in our consciousness, and we're not even aware of that. Let's again go to the energy of money. When it is said money is hard to come by, people who have a lot of money, most of the time it's because they are bad, they are greedy, or if I have a lot of money, I'm not spiritual, I'll be away from God. If I'm in too much of luxury, I feel uneasy around 7-star luxury hotels. I feel guilt about wearing that designer dress, something like that. I'm not saying that you're meant to spend a lot or whatever. I'm just saying that these are all programmings, and once you begin to understand them, by and observe them, they fall away. And most of us have been rebels in our families, haven't we? I think all of us. When we talk about life, when we talk about God, when we talk about how we want to live our lives, financially, sexually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. Some of us even going to the extent of living on prana and saying, oh, I choose to live on light, just sunlight, no vegetarian, no vegan food. It's a rebel. It requires just a dare. We can, On the sutra, we can transform the small d there to a capital D there, but just a bit of daring is enough. The daring that you understand what dare is, it is enough to help you take a quantum leap. Let us breathe in the miracle of our very presence in this holy moment of now. You're a miracle, not some time when you're ascended or free from cycle of birth and death. You are a miracle right here, right now. Holy moment of now. Let us just listen to the sutra again, and then we'll go into the transmission. The dance of polarity tries to imitate the heart of a creator. Sometimes we identify with one pole too much, thinking that by grasping onto one end, our minds can become the ultimate creator. Where we think that our way is the only way, where, we think that this is what life is. Liberated are the ones who learn to surrender to the magic of the creation, the miracle of nature, the miracle of their presence. Love devoid of emotions and sentiments, but filled with the wisdom and power of Creator. The glue which holds everything yet moves everything. It is very difficult for people to observe love. When we use the word impersonal love, impersonal and unconditional love, the universe. It is impersonal but unconditional. When you go deeper and deeper into who you are, you begin to have a feel of it, a knowingness, or if you have ever observed a self-realized being, as they call him, they might act personal, but they are very impersonal at the same time, and very unconditional. So, the glue which holds everything, it moves everything, merging with this realization that all that we are here is to live and love life. Seek surrender coming from the place of empowerment. For surrender of the mind into the mind requires a dare. Let us breathe in the miracle of our very presence in this holy moment of now. The surrender to the small m mind or the capital M mind is like breaking of everything, literally unlearning everything that you've learned about life. Literally that. And dropping to that infinite wisdom and saying, God, I'm raw, naked, vulnerable. Source energy, teach me. I would like to restart my so-called belief system. That's what I actually start to learn. Okay, 2211, let's go into the transmission. Allowing yourself to close your eyes. Again, I recommend you to maintain your private journal. This will help you to keep a track. The world outside holds a very interesting trance that kind of helps you to forget who you are, what you can do, why you're here, and other great things like that. Okay, so with your eyes closed, visualizing a beautiful column of white light coming down from source, infinity, and going down to your crown and flooding your body. Let's have yourself respond to it like a home. As Rachna said, nostalgia, feeling of being home. Let it move to the knees, sole the feet to the earth. Visualizing a beautiful golden triangle at the top of the head. See it coming down into your body. Feel your body is hollow and empty, and feel this golden triangle anchoring into your heart chakra, your heart center. Please repeat together out loud if possible or in your mind. I allow my God self, I allow my divine self to take charge of my life, of my body, my heart and my mind. I surrender to this great power of love. visualizing your brain dropping into your heart, and visualizing those ego-based clutches. Ego is not bad, by the way. It just needs to be reschooled. It's required to experience duality. When it is in service of the I Am Presence with the Divine Self, it can be of great service to the light. Allowing these clutches of the ego to be released from every single cell of your body, your organ, your neck, all the parts of the body, and allowing this beautiful, delicious golden light to flow in. This session is guided by so many high beings of light, especially with a lot of golden energy today. Perhaps you're smiling or having a bit of tears. Whatever that comes to you, allow it to flow. Do not hold back. If it's a memory, it's an experience, it's a sensation. Deep and fine breaths. Allowing yourself to take the driver's, allowing yourself, your real self, to take the driver's seat, and allowing your personality, with which you identify as the body, mind, emotions, to take the passenger seat, allowing a divine self to take the driver's seat. Yes, the grace is much about allowing that capillary responsibility of the divine being that you are to operate in your life in every single second, through your body, through your words, through your thoughts and heart. Being the divine being that you are. I'm going to use some light language throughout these transmissions to rapidly accelerate the work that we're doing. Light language is basically a set of words and tonings which somehow influence your DNA to open to the transmission of the sutra. Mukone sayashtana saya velazayastana sashamo kore sayastana sayashtana saya mukone saya ashtala sabayostana sakaya. Ishe bayostana saya mishtale saganizayashtana sabunazayastana sashistale saya mukone sayastana sashistara. Boli sine saya mukone saya mukone sa. We call forth the minimized wings of our holy archangel Sandalphon to be anchored in our heart, to help us ground and experience the planet Earth gracefully, joyfully, easily. Deep and fine breaths. Feeling yesterday's Christed imprinting of the cross, the vertical and the horizontal grounding. The horizontal and vertical grounding. Align the crucifixion of the old beliefs and ideas. Underline the resurrection, the birth of the new, the rise of the phoenix from the ashes. That great divine being that you are, everything that you seek, you desire, it can manifest. An infinite source of power, of love, of wisdom, everything that you will ever seek, you have been seeking, and will ever seek in any dimension, in any timeline. A great being that you are. Take a moment to honor the divine beings that all of us are in the grid. Recognizing the divinity, our true royal inherent divine nature. Noticing this golden light, raising your frequency and balancing. It is connected today with emerald healing energies. Visualizing this mix of the gold and the green flowing through and through your meridians, your nadis, your chakras, your light body, your physical body, emotional body, your mental body, your very soul, and all the high dimensional bodies, named, known, and unknown. This great flood of the light, it's like a constant repetitive explosion of light from the inside out, pulsing out, creating waves into the infinite creation, not just the universe, but the infinite creation. And these waves, these pulses, like the waves of the great tsunami of light emanating from our hearts, our beingness into the creation, coming back, amplified many fold. I am a master. I am a being of light. I'm a being of love. I am a spiritual being having a human experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. You are divine light. You are divine love. I am infinitely powerful. Infinite power you are. I am filled with infinite love. Infinite love you are. All that you seek is within you. All is within you that you seek. As above, so below, as within, so without. The child is the father of men. In every aspect of creation, there is complete universe. The universe can be sliced down, broken down. Yet every single tiniest particle will have the universe. Every cell is an entire body. Visualizing a spiraling energy coming down from the heavens into your crown and flowing into your spine and going to the root into the earth. Another spiraling frequency coming up from the core of the Ma, the great loving Mother Earth. No matter how much we mess up generations to generations, she still loves us, isn't it? That time she performs a good cleanse though. This beautiful spiraling energy is coming from the root up to the spine, up into your crown and into the universe, spiraling a sacred dance of the sacred snake. Like the road of Caduceus, the medical road. Noticing your crown chakra expanded like the wings at the top of the road. These energies of yin and yang, the sacred two snakes, the Ida and the Pingala. Feel the rhythm, the dancing, feel the movement of these snake-like energies, the spiraling energies in your spine, moving and balancing, moving and balancing, moving and balancing. Perhaps your eyes automatically pointing upwards. It's a great sign of the energies moving upwards, ascending higher and higher. Ascension is nothing but the descension of spirit into matter. That's it. All the chakras in the spine light up, blazing with the golden discs as they are. I call for the angels of your ancestral lineage to transmit this divine transmission through me, to help you experience alchemy with love and grace, with a lot of respect for ancestors, for everything that was in the past, because if past was not there, the present cannot happen. Remember, we're not supposed to judge, right? The more we judge, the more we tone down our frequencies. Makoda istini shi moshtana sayastala saya moshtane sakanizi moshtane sa ashtana sa boehne saya moshtane sa khanadaya. Ashtabayistine saya moshtane sa bilidaya ashtana saya mokone sayistine si shi si mokwa. Ashatune saya moshtana sa astini si moshtala saya sa. Lot of respect. Send out respect and love and gratitude to your ancestors. Without them, you wouldn't have a physical body to wish to incarnate at this time, to evolve. Mochene sayashtana saya mushtale sayestene sachene sayashtene saboyi estene sayeste. For all we have a common ancestry, and that is divine. We're all divine beings. Moishtene saya mushtala saya ishtene sibokhone saya astana saya mushtala sayestene saya mushtene sachene sayashtene saya mushtene sayestene saya mushtale saya. Ishatune si mochone sayashtene sakhini si ishtene si belazayastene sa umochone si ishtene sakhini si. You might experience your body shuddering or moving. Allow it to flow through if that happens. If nothing happens, just allow. Boy ishtene sakhone si ishtene si mofshitala sayamushtene sakhone si. Achene sayachene sayishtene sayamushtene sayashtene. The energy is beaming powerfully through the root chakra into this earth and from the crown into the heavens, emanating great light upwards and downwards, for the tree is nurtured by both, and so is the human incarnated soul. The material world is the spiritual. Heaven and earth are not separate. Earth is nothing but a densified body of light. Spirit is nothing but rarefied matter. Bring your full awareness, full consciousness, let it contract into your heart center. Visualize a mini version, a small version of yourself sitting inside your heart center. Visualizing the symbol of the yin yang, the dark and the white, the two fish eating each other. And yet never ending. It's an infinite joy, it's an infinite dance. It's an infinite act of procreation, of beingness, of life that is. And feeling the dark and white in every single cell. Imprint to your subtle body, your aura, the energy field that you radiate outside. And feel it imprinting the entire room, the entire city, the country. Notice how the light workers were meditating with you, or helping you to imprint this yin yang throughout the earth, the solar system, the galaxy, the universe, entire creation. It carries on and on and on. There's no end, there's no end, there's no end. Great pause. The still small voice within. In the Hindu tradition, the Lord Vishnu, known as a preserver, is seen resting nicely on this huge grand snake. Look at him. He's so relaxed and yet preserving the world. Completely embodying this virtue of actively calm and calmly active. A full deep breath. Returning once again to your body, and this time you notice your body is nothing but as a flame of white light. Please repeat together. Imprint divine matrix. Imprint infinite matrix. Imprint divine matrix. Imprint the I am matrix. Imprint divine matrix. Imprint divine matrix. You might notice yourself shifted in a very interesting, strong, or perhaps subtle way. as you feel so deeply grounded, more sensation soles of the feet, and so aware of spine, of your multidimensional nature in the physical body. Visualize a thick root of white light coming from the sacral chakra. The sacral chakra is present at a few inches below the belly button. Let it flow into the earth. You may now want to bend down if you feel like, or just visualize the palms touching the earth, the floor. Visualize you're making 5 roots of light through the sole of the feet, through the sacral chakra, and through the palms. And at the same time, the 6th root, the root chakra, and the 7th root through the heart chakra. Maya Niso Maya Niso Nishtanai Maya. These beautiful rings with a mix of beautiful pinkish red and green, spiraling upwards, rings of light coming from the earth surrounding your body. Feel the love, the density, the excited density of this physical world, the body, the game of limitedness. Smile at your physical body for a choice to be here on this planet, for a choice to be yourself. Bring both the palms of your hand on your belly button, feeling the breath, and we invoke the sacred nature green matrix to surround all of us, imprinting today's transmission with joy, ease, and grace, completely, deeply, permanently, gracefully, if you so choose. The more of us join this journey, even after it is done live, it kind of amplifies the work of the previous contributors, and the new ones get influenced by the work that you and me and all others will continue to do in the future. We celebrate this sacred gift of light, of knowing ourselves. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A full deep breath of gratitude to the great beings of light who are holding the sacred matrix, the sacred grid, and guiding us throughout the day. We invoke more and more angels of grace to help us transition with more grace as we travel through in the sacred journey. We send out gratitude to all the beings who participated live multidimensionally in the inner planes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And gradually opening your eyes, perhaps even hugging yourself. The purpose of life is to live and love it. Is to celebrate life, is to enjoy life as the I am divine beings that we are. Not getting attached, yet evolving. Thank you so much everyone for joining in. It's always a pleasure. We're ending this transmission at 2233, a divine number indeed. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope to see you tomorrow if you're going to have a session. Namaste. Bye bye.